Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morning Coins with John and Chaz. It's Free for All Friday.
And it has been a free for all.
It has been crazy. It has been crazy. Just remember, all of you live streamers out there, here's a tip. If your servers are getting overloaded and you're encountering problems not being able to stream, and you're just generally running into some issues, hold on, let me pause the stream over here so I don't get overloaded. Sometimes you just have to uninstall and reinstall the software. And don't be afraid to do that. Make sure you save all your scenes as separate files and go from there. Nerdtopia.de, I think that's right, but it left me. Thanks for tuning in. This is our Morning Coin show, so this is our live show for blockchain, everything blockchain, cryptocurrency, Steem, Bitcoin related. So you can call in, you can chat, any way that you want to engage and be part of the show, you're more than welcome, and we welcome that. So this is Free for All Friday. Chaz, I'm going to let you talk, but I just need to make sure that everything is okay. So what's up, Chaz?
Hey, everything is things get more interesting every day. Of course, we have the producers here. He never
Look at
misses a
that.
show. Yeah, he sleeps through the show, but he never misses one. We have a good. I think what our free for all, we came up looking pretty good in here. So let me just start by reading the disclaimer that cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options trading involves substantial loss of risk and are not suitable for every investor. The valuation of cryptocurrencies, futures, stocks, and options may fluctuate, and as a result, clients may lose more than their original investment. All investments discussed on this show are for informational purposes only and are not recommendations to buy or sell.
Good job, Chaz. So, Nerdtopia DE, I'm going to put a link here in the chat on Vim. You should be able to just copy and paste that link into a browser and join the call. You shouldn't have any problem getting in. And if you do, then let me know and we'll figure out a different way. So just so you know that link that I put in there, and that's for anyone who joins the show, you can come on in live. You'll mess up our camera settings. The show won't look as nice, but you'll be here. And that's what's most important.
Don't discourage the guy. Don't discourage him. Who cares? As long as they get in here.
That's what I mean. So copy that link, or just go to zoom.us and type in that 468-186-430. That applies to anyone. Just come on in. I'll open a new window, and we'll get you going. So, that being said, Chaz.
So we're a free for all today, so we can look at anything we want and do anything we want here. We don't have to follow any kind of. I threw a bunch of slides up when you pulled the plug on the show this morning. I had to scramble to put something together, and I got a video.
Okay.
I thought was very interesting, but we don't have to look at that.
Is this that Steem versus ASQ video?
Yes, it is.
No, we're going to play it because I got some stuff that I need to talk with you about after we play this video.
Okay.
So I think it's a good way to start.
Yeah, I'm, and by no means am I trying to throw Steem under the bus, but maybe give them some impetus to make things better.
Something to think about. All right, guys, let's check out that video. If Chaz embedded it properly.
I did.
What's going on? Oh, boy. Too many Google accounts to keep track of. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Sorry, everyone. If you don't have everything exactly right, It doesn't work out that good. Come on, internet. No. Just doesn't want to. Internet just doesn't want to work today, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, if we
So,
can get it to play, we can move along.
yeah, we'll keep working at it. What's the state of the market, Chaz?
You know, the market itself, you know, it's had some problems, or when I say problems, it's in a downturn right now, although I do see some light at the end of the tunnel. But again, it's in its infancy, right? These crypto blockchains, we're just at the beginning. And so there's a lot of things to be worked out and to be settled, but I do see a lot of acceptance of crypto by different companies, including the coins and the altcoins and the blockchain itself. Just as an example on the links, 130 coffee shops accept crypto in Europe.
Wow.
I mean, that is the beginning of the acceptance.
Yeah.
And I see some of these people that are saying it's a non-starter, it's going to disappear, it's going to implode on itself, and they're the same people who said the automobile would never be a success, and you know.
Yeah. Well, we've said that before. They're the same people that think Facebook is the internet.
Yeah. They're just incredibly ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
Tether. I found this to be
Tether, man. Tether's taking a hit.
They pull millions out of circulation, 610 million out of circulation.
And it went into Bitcoin.
Yeah. So, wow. What's going on there? And then my favorite subject, Ripple. They're in talks with German banks. And if they do nail the big one, which is the douche bank.
You can't call it that, Chaz. You can't call it the douche bank. Are you trying to get us like? I mean, people can come after us for calling them that.
So
anyway. It's Deutsche, and we have one of our viewers is Nerdtopia DE. He's from Germany.
Well, let's get his opinion on it.
Well, he might call him douchebank. Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Nerdtopia. Let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, after they're talking, and I probably am not pronouncing this right, Raisin Bank, which is the little sister of the Deutsche Bank.
Okay.
Right? And so if they get the Deutsche Bank, we're talking $1.5 trillion. I just see this thing, I just see it happening. It's going to happen. Whatever these guys are doing at Ripple, they know what they're doing.
They're up today already over at anyone else.
Yeah. Money is going to start flying into this thing.
Well, one thing back on that subject that you talked about earlier about hot coffee shops and things like that is I see that as really being beneficial in larger cities to attract tourists. You know, like Cleveland's doing this Blockland initiative where they're trying to create a buzz around the blockchain and create it for industry applications. And I think it's a good plan, right? And I think it's going to be a good idea. However, they're doing it in a way that they're only securing speakers and people to talk to and attract developers for this conference.
Yes.
Rather than think a little bit bigger, like how can Cleveland be a community that supports blockchain by it? To me, you would do it by picking some coins or picking some strategies to get people to use it. So have more stores use it, have more shops and vendors be able to learn how to do it and easily accept it and integrate it into their business. And then you start having conferences where how do we use this technology and build a community of developers to help, industries like education, finance, insurance companies, all that kind of stuff.
Right, and practical applications.
Hmm.
Getting beyond the theoretical stage with this. And a good example is that some of the wallets that we've covered, like Monarch, where they have a system to convert when you have incoming altcoins or coins into your wallet, it can convert it to your favorite currency.
Right.
Automatic.
Right.
And then when you're sending it, it can reconvert it on the outsend. I mean, that makes it so usable, right? So if you want to keep your stuff in the US dollar, you keep your money in the US dollar, and when you're ready to send it, you want to send out Monero, boom, you hit the button, it converts your US to Monero and sends it.
Yep.
These things are going to be important because then people will be able to actually functionally use these easily.
So I'm getting an encoding error, saying that the encoding's overloaded. So I don't freaking know, man. So I know we're live. I know we're recording. I just need to check in my settings a second. If you guys are watching live, just put in a comment and let me know if you're experiencing buffering. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the video real quick. So just give me a second, Chaz. And
Okay.
that'll also give me a second to get these slides up. So
I have the video is working on my and I could share the screen.
we can do that, but this scene is not equipped to do that yet. So
Okay.
we got to
All
do
right.
this. We got to do it here first. So all right. Something happened. I think it's a bandwidth thing. If I try to open too many windows with this crap ass Spectrum internet, I'll say that every broadcast.
No competition in the internet market.
No competition, man. This country is so bad, right? They preach free market principles, and everyone rails about how we have all this freedom and da 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 da. There's no competition. They stifle you every step of the way with legislation and regulations and giving you loans. It's anything to keep people that currently have money and currently have power in power.
Yeah.
It is a shame what this country is becoming with regards to that. I mean, and we can't even have simple conversations about politics without people
Right.
getting in an uproar. We're disconnected, we're lonely, we're divided, we stare at our screens, and we walk around angry because our water bill goes up for stupid stuff. Because
please don't get me started on water bills.
well, I know. Well, water is a huge topic for Genesee County, Michigan.
Yeah, for Genesee, and I live in Oakland County, but I'll just give you an example of some of the stuff and what you're talking about. Local municipal government, right? They have in Holly here, they had a subdivision going in, and it was Pulte Homes. I'll put their name right out there. Said that we need to put
Shots
these
fired.
in, and we need to do that. And the city council came back, or the village council, and said, okay, we want a bond so that if something goes wrong, we're covered. Pulte Home says no way, and the village council goes, okay. Well, guess what? The subdivision went under. Village of Holly got strapped with the bill to pay for all that.
Yeah.
The installation of the sewer system, and
Yep.
now it's on our bills.
That is right.
Because some idiot.
Because some developer had an idea that they needed to build a subdivision, fronted the money, had some investors front the money, then they couldn't fill it.
Yeah.
This
They
is
just
how, I
stop.
mean, that's how the housing boom happened. This is why we had to bail out banks in the auto industry.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on GM either. There's another one. You know, all the people that were stockholders in there just got it shoved right up their rear ends.
Yeah, I mean, our economy is propped up. It is a propped up fake economy. They print money out of nowhere, and then they rail against stuff that was like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that were actually created to prevent crap like that happening again.
And we refuse to prosecute white collar crime at its highest level.
Yeah.
Those people just walk away every time.
Yeah. Because, well, and some of that I think has to do with with Citizens United and the seeing organizations as people. I mean, they're protected. Companies are protected from being able to freely do business and commerce. So they use those same protections to not have to be able to be held accountable.
Right. Yeah, they slip through the cracks. They're guilty parties like Bank of America and others that really started the ball rolling on the mortgage debacle. They're just let to walk free. There's no criminal charges, and it's crazy because you're a large corporation, you're almost immune from any kind of prosecution. My opinion is it should go right to the board of directors. If your company does this illegal criminal activity, you're responsible because you're in control.
Agreed. 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 So I have the slides working again.
Okay.
So for those of you out there, I'm not able to watch the chat, but I am able to watch the chat on OBS, just with the way I have the slides set up today. So you guys can go to zoom.us and type in that code 468-186-430. That'll get you in here. If not, if we're saying stuff that resonates with you, or you just want to have us bring a comment in, go ahead and put it in there, and I'll bring it into the discussion. Then I had something else I was going to say to you, and I lost it. Oh, I know. This is and remember, today is Free for All Friday, so we're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You got it?
Yeah, I got
You
it.
said debacle. So my question to you is, do you say those words like that, or are you doing that on purpose?
I'm doing it on purpose.
Okay.
So let's take a little trace or a little ride back in history.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
If you look at the way words were pronounced 100 years ago and pronounce those same words today, chances are very high that they're pronounced differently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So somewhere along the lines, colloquialism has taken over, and we changed the pronunciation of words because they just change. People start saying it wrong or start saying it different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just starting to say it different.
I like it, man. It's cool. I might go around saying, debacle.
Here's one for
Like,
you. I think
our
I've done
current state of government is a debacle.
yeah.
The way that we use fractional reserve banking in this country is a debacle.
Right? You'll probably change and start a whole trend in vocabulary, linguistics.
Come to Morning Coins, and we will change the way you say things and think about things.
That's the idea. Maybe the change of a pronunciation is a change of the way you think.
Could be. All right, I think we got this video. So let's check it out. ASQ versus Steem.
Hey, what is up, guys? The digital content sharing network is huge, and it only continues to grow. The combined value of all major social networks is controlled by few major companies. Those companies profit from advertising models and share a low percentage with their content creators. Therefore, content creators migrate to more blockchain-based platforms where they can be fairly rewarded for their work. So, in this video, I will compare new ASQ protocol to well-known Steem platform. I will give you a brief introduction to both, and we will talk about the user base and decentralization. What is ASQ protocol? ASQ protocol is user-friendly, decentralized blockchain technology solution which will help different creators to receive rewards by making their passion come to life. It is essentially a protocol for sharing, storing, and monetizing a wide variety of digital content. This project envisioned a new economy for content creation as well as monetization model that favors creators instead of centralized entity. Just like any other blockchain technology-based protocol, ASQ utilizes its own native cryptocurrency called ASQ tokens. Consumers can use ASQ protocol to access quality content across the wide variety of platforms with different user experience. They can use the protocol to commission creators to make new content. Creators are paid for their content in a fair and transparent manner with ASQ tokens. Meanwhile, partner platform will gain a new revenue source from the protocol's cryptocurrency by hosting content and facilitating great user experience for customers. The end result will be great exposure of customers to a large amount of high-volume content across all participating platforms in the new ecosystem. What is Steem? Steem is another well-known blockchain technology platform where content creators can monetize their content by earning rewards in Steem tokens for their work. Unlike ASQ protocol, Steem is a text-only content with only one base platform. In addition to that, it has three different base cryptocurrency tokens. Steem, which is fundamental unit of account on the Steem platform. Steem Dollar, which are the unit of accounts used to reward users for posting their content, and Steem Power, which represent tokens that symbolize how much power you have to influence on other content. I have a Steem account myself, and to be honest, it has a very steep entry barrier and learning curve to overcome. Interface on this platform is not very friendly and confusing. Three different cryptocurrency on one single platform were also confusing, and quite frankly do not make a lot of sense to me. Why couldn't they make a one cryptocurrency token to serve only the function in one platform? Unlike ASQ tokens which have limited supply, Steem has built-in inflation in 100% annually and no coins limitation. To put this in perspective, US dollars has around 4 to 5% annual inflation rate, meaning if you could buy a gallon of water last year for $1, this year you would have to pay $1.05 for the same gallon of water. If you could spend your Steem token to buy a gallon of water, which will never happen, but just for the sake of argument, if this year you bought a gallon of water for $1 worth of Steem, next year for the same gallon of water you will have to pay $2 worth of Steem, which is insane. You can imagine how fast Steem tokens will lose its purchasing power. User base. Two social media platforms have already agreed to use the ASQ protocol. The company behind the ASQ protocol, Ask.fm, will also be the first platform to use it. Ask.fm is currently working on the new blockchain version of its Q&A social network to serve its 215 million registered users in 168 countries. On Ask.fm, users ask over 600 million questions monthly, generating 600 million potential items of content for transactions on the ASQ protocol. Ning, one of the largest SaaS platforms for creating social community websites, also plans to implement the protocol for use by its 2 million online community users with over 45 million registered users. Overall, ASQ protocol already has 21 million monthly users at the start, though the number will continue to grow. In addition to the younger demographic that make up the core market, the platform includes a variety of different influencers, bloggers, and different content creators. Steemit, on the other hand, is a relatively older platform. It was created in 2016, so by now you may assume it has a larger user base, but in reality it does not. Just recently, Steemit reached 1 million registered users with around 400,000 active users, relatively much smaller user base comparing to ASQ protocol. Decentralization. ASQ claims to be decentralized and well-distributed content creation protocol. It's probably too early to say how truly is ASQ decentralized, but we can verify how well it will be distributed. The total token supply is 850 million tokens. Only 20% of ASQ tokens are sold during ICO. 30% goes to the protocol foundation, 25% will be distributed to the users as a reward mechanism, 17.5% to advisors and business partners, 7% to development team, and 0.5% will be promotion as airdrops. Steemit is not decentralized. From the beginning it was and still remains highly centralized. The launch of Steem network was heavily rigged to ensure the developers and their friends had control over the majority of supply. Furthermore, this has major implications for the Steemit platform. The top few accounts on Steemit, most of which are probably owned by developers and their friends throughout duplication account, own 87.5% of total stake. As we can see on this image, although any user can vote for content, the influence of voters corresponding to the amount of Steem you convert on your account. This means that typically users' vote is almost meaningless, unless they manage to acquire a high stake in the total supply.
Okay, well, that's
All content
fortuitous.
on
Yeah,
Steemit
there you
is
go.
highly censored and
So,
centralized since the few actual
hold on one
users
second,
who own
'cause
the
it's still
majority
coming
of the
through.
supply
Alright guys, I paused it. One, because I think we've seen enough of it. Two, this is like talking about it's like talking about the Lino network.
I'm not familiar with Lino.
That's where D Live went.
Oh,
Everyone thinks that they're going to start their own blockchain and make millions and get millions. So go ahead. Why don't you expound and then we'll have an argument.
sure. Two things that I would want to say, and we'll debate, we won't argue, is one, that Steemit's complicated, and I think it's overly complicated. It should be made simpler. If you want to appeal to the masses, it can't be hard to use, especially if there's alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree.
The other part is the dominance by certain members of the network to be able to control where funds go. It's my only two complaints.
You hear that? Steamiverse?
No.
No, I'm telling them.
Oh yeah.
You have to be, and that's interesting, right? And I do think they care about that, and I do think they're working on it. But the interesting part about what they've built and why I like it is the ability to. It's the same thing as Ethereum. You can build apps off of it, and with the smart media tokens. So I know there's a lot of cynicism around whether or not that's going to be available and what it's going to look like and all that kind of stuff. But there are already apps, and that, like I was playing Steam Monsters beforehand, right? So once SMTs go up, Steam Monsters is going to have its own token, right? It's going to tokenize Steam, and Vim might have its own token. G1NBC might have its own token. So those companies will eliminate the barrier to entry because they'll be able to utilize resource credits, or like Patrick Ulrich knows more about this than I do, and I still, even with this show and with the steaming pile, I learn stuff all the time around doing that. So I really do think that that we're still we're still in beta, we're still early adopters, and once those developers are able to start building apps and doing things that way, then you'll see that barrier to entry be taken down. Now, the other issue, and we talked about this on the steaming pile, is what you brought up, is that the whales and people that have large amounts of steam, not only do they have undue influence, but they know how to continue to line their own pockets, which is fine. I have no problem against that. But the undue ability to give influence to others, and like by downvoting and flagging and getting into arguments that aren't beneficial for the community, is a problem.
Right.
Because they'll be like, oh, well, I don't like what so and so says, so I'm going to go ahead and downvote and not get involved with any person involved with anything that person does.
Yeah, so you would think that as opposed to having a downvote, you just don't upvote and let it take care of itself.
Right. That's kind of like my account, right? Like I was a little bit hurt because I lost 2 followers this week, and I don't like that. Like, that hurts, right? So then that means that, and it's hard, right? Because I think some of everyone's followers are bots and things like that.
Right.
But to unfollow, that means that I must have negatively affected that person, where they went over and just unclicked that button, which is, what are you going to do? But that video, the ASQ, so that just reminds me of Lino, right? They have a platform already with Ask FM, and it's interesting that their token is called ASQ. And then the one part about it that I don't understand is the Ning and how they're going to involve those users into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, unless what they're going to do is when the platform it gets expanded, it's going to be expanded to Ning. It's just going to open up the door, and they'll be able to have membership or access to content.
Right.
But going back to something, the G1N token, when we're talking about the blockchain for G1NBC, I mean, I would want, we definitely have two classes of individuals that we might be looking at. One is the content providers, and the other one is the station affiliate owners or managers. And so there has to be some way to give them access. And when I say that, I mean, let's face it, G1NBC affiliates, if we maxed out all our affiliates, there would still be a lot less of them than there would be the individual content providers.
Yeah. I mean, because there's only, our national strategy is like 2,200 if we have a station affiliate in every county. That's not a lot of people. It's a big, right? It'll be a big organization once it gets to where we want it to be. And that's just for the USA Corp. But then you apply. But if you apply that internationally and globally, which is the intention of the network, that's where you have more. Like, that's where you have more people. But like you said, it turns anyone in the county, though, that has a store or an item or a widget to sell into its own content provider.
Right.
And so,
then,
like you said, it'll
there
never.
has to be balance there, right? We have to be able to have a balance between the affiliates and the content providers. And the content providers have to be paid. If someone's going to use their content, they got to get paid.
Absolutely. And I think that's why the token is more about finding the right people to help us develop the platform, making sure we're integrating the Steem principles into it, making sure we're integrating the G1NBC principles into it, and making sure that it's smart contracting between affiliates, content providers, networks, and people that are part of the audience and part of the people that drive the platform.
And then I guess to put that into a sentence is there needs to be a level playing field.
So here's what I like about that, and this has to do with, and what I'm showing on the screen right now, I don't know if you've seen this or not, I'll put the link in here, is that Ned, one of the co-founders of Steem, is putting together a new behind-the-scenes project that he's calling Destiny for right now. So I'm going to go ahead in the chat and share that with you. And I'm going to give you a couple highlights from it. So he has a rollout of recent comments, a new project called Destiny. He believes it's going to be a team effort, not only a team effort, but a community effort. And he wants to execute a vision that he's wanted to achieve for years. Make great communities, which I like, because I'm definitely like doing that as well. But he goes further and he says, some have asked what will happen with Steemit. As this new app launches, and I'll read it, as this new app launches, Steemit will continue to operate and serve Steemians. He's going to continue to be the CEO of both this new venture and Steemit Inc. And it sounds like Steemit Inc.'s purpose going forward is going to be to maintain the course coding on the Steem blockchain and pursue its mission to make Steem great for apps. And then he's going to be working on this Destiny project to make great communities. So 2 things that I dissect from that. One is I'm interested in Destiny because I think that there's potential there for me to help facilitate making great communities with my skills and being able to consult and facilitate and have large group conversations. So I'm definitely interested in that. The other one is making Steem great for apps. You see what's not in there is making Steem great for individual content providers. Right? So he tells you right there by not including it that that's not where Steem's going. Then it's going to be up to those decentralized apps like Steam Hunt, DTube, DLike, Steam Monsters. Those apps are going to have to curate and do work for individual content providers, the G1N token. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. What's missing is important when someone says something. It's what they don't say. So we would have to develop those apps.
Yeah. So right, and that's where I think the G1N token comes in, because that token is it'll help us build our affiliate base. It'll help us build our network. And then on the flip side, we have to figure out the mechanisms of that token to reward content providers, affiliate owners, and people that are involved.
Right, and the reward system has to be fair and equitable.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I say, I don't want to call it fair. I'm going to call it just and equitable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so fair. People look at it, right, and they understand it, and it makes them want to be part of the project. And then, like, some people might come in, get tokens, go through the G1NBC experience, and decide, thank you, I'm moving on to another network, or this isn't, what I signed up for. And I think that's fine too.
Yeah. Of course, there is always that interoperability projects out there where we may be able to be a part of this network, be a part of the G1N network, and also be a part of other networks.
Yep, I agree.
So expanding our influence.
So these links here. Oh, we went through the links already.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So now's a good time to do our little Coinbase intro here.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Coinbase is moving on up. They got the OX token now or something?
Yeah, OX token's been added, and they have more on the plate ready to go. We'll see how that works out. I think they've decided it's time to move forward, and they're going to be adding more tokens. That would be great, but obviously XRP wasn't one of them. I don't even think they're sure what to do with XRP, but and that's a whole nother discussion about my experience just recently trying to buy XRP. I had to transfer money. I wanted to get on the Lumen, was a Stellar Term exchange, the decentralized exchange. Well, I couldn't do it. I had to own Lumens before I could get on there. And that's like, why can't I just buy Lumens there?
Right, right. I know, man. Like when I tried to get into EOS, they wanted $500 just to start. And I'm like, dude, I'm out. I just, I have cryptocurrency. I have Bitcoin that I'm hodling, but I don't have a lot. It's not a significant amount. Like, I mean, so yeah, I don't know. And that's why some of that stuff is just beyond me. But, I don't know. I want to get in the game and I want to do some things. But yeah, like you said, you have to go to different exchanges to get different ones. And there's not one centralized place. And then hacking and so it's just tough. But back to getting Steem on Coinbase. There's a link in the thing from the Real Wolf. So this is still a Steem Blast project. We're going to talk about it until it's not. And then there was another one that I wanted to wonder if you were doing. Did you see the Go Netcoins contest?
No, I did not.
So the Go Netcoins contest, it's contest.netcoins.com. Oh, contest.gonetcoins.com.
Okay.
And so you'll see down here, if you kind of voting closes, if you kind of, I don't know if you can see that or not.
No, I can't.
There we go. Voting closes October 18th.
Oh,
Okay.
that was yesterday.
And look at this. Look who's number one. Verge.
Really?
Now, we haven't done a thing on Verge yet, but Verge is a shitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay? Look who's number two. You see that? Can you see that?
No, I can't.
You got to zoom out. What the heck's going on here with this light? Well, anyway, number two is Steem.
Wow.
We're only 300 votes behind, or 200 votes behind, guys. We have a day. We need to mobilize.
You said it ends on the 18th, though. Today's the 19th.
Oh, son of a gun. Did they win? Oh, it closes on the 20th, 2018.
Okay.
So tomorrow, noon. So we were winning today.
Cool.
So Steem, the Steem universe, is very close to being, and this is a Canadian exchange, Go Netcoins.
Okay.
Okay? And so they're looking to get Steem listed. We have to beat Verge. So get your ass in there. Go to contest.gonetcoins.com and vote.
I'm writing it down.
I'm going to go do it right now. I'm going to go vote right now. It's Free for All Friday. I can do what I want, Chaz.
That's it. I'm going to do it too.
We only have a couple minutes left because I got shit to do today. I was just starting a Steem Monsters battle too since they upped the Manna. You don't have any Steem Monsters cards, do you?
No.
You don't have enough Steem to even buy Steem Monsters packs, do you?
It was contest.gonet.
Contest.gonetcoins.com. Type that in there. And then what you do is you're going to scroll down to Steem. And you'll have to, since this is your first time, put in your email address. And they'll send you a verification email. All you do is go into your email account, click on that verification, and it updates and counts your vote. So I'm going to take it off the camera scene just so you guys don't have to see how slow my internet really is. And we're going to go vote. So how is everyone doing today? Say hello in the chat so we know that you're here. And if you're watching on the VOD, then contact us by either commenting on Steem or subscribing to my mailing list on G1NBC, and we'll get you to be a part of the show. The show is looking for any rogue investors or traders or people that, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, we definitely want to have a Bitcoin show soon. So that might be a good one for you to work with us on planning. If you have any ideas for upcoming shows, like we've said before, any blockchain token, platform, coin, application, we're definitely going to start doing some shows on the Steem apps coming up as we get closer to the SMT launching and featuring some of those guys on our show. So we got some big plans for the show. Hope that you guys will participate. So I can vote for Steem again, which I'm going to do. I got to confirm I'm not a robot. With my reCAPTCHA. So we'll check that. Hopefully this thing records okay. I'm getting a lot of encoder overload messages with this internet. I think it's the internet. I'm trying to do too many fancy things like look at web pages while we talk live. There we go. 8,254 to 8,365. How's your vote going, Chaz?
Not accepting me.
It's not accepting your email or what?
I think that's it. Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
There we go.
And then
I
you'll.
had it in caps, so that's why you rejected me because I used capitals.
Gotcha.
Okay, 8255.
Are we talking any more about ASQ?
No, we don't have to.
I see you put them in there. Do you like this project?
I'm interested. I want to learn more about it.
There's a guy on there named Nimrod.
All right, they're done.
That's mean. That's mean. So, all right. Well, we'll ASQ's out there. There's someone out there who's actually on Steem, posting every day, getting all of our Steem tokens, who's putting out cynical videos against Steem and promoting ASQ. I think that's okay. I don't think Steem cares about people doing stuff like that because they know that they've been in the game longer. But it does go back to the point that Steem has some growing to do. So I see this. Go ahead, Chess.
So you want to look at the technicals?
I skipped right to gold.
Right to gold. Look at what gold's doing.
Gold is going up, baby.
Yeah. I think that it's got a ways to go. I'm looking for 13 on gold. Once it gets there, I'm out.
Okay. What does that mean? You're out.
I'm selling.
Oh, okay.
That's where it popped the last time and took a dump. Went in the toilet.
Gotcha. So you're gonna go back. Wait for it to go back up to 13, then you're out.
Yeah, then I'm out. I'm making just a small profit, but I'm happy with that. And then let it drop again, and I'll get back in again. And we see though the on-balance volume is beginning to lift.
Yeah, I see that.
Good indication that gold may be hitting some higher numbers soon.
Okay.
And then I put a Ripple chart up just to take a look at it and see that, in fact, the on-balance volume is lifting.
Wow.
Yeah. It took a little bit of a dump, which you expect because people get that profit, if they're in at 25 cents.
Right.
Or they want out, so they take their quick profit, and then now the money's coming back in. And if just half of these projects and events that they're working on happen, I can see this thing really advancing.
Ripple has a lot of enemies, man.
I know.
Like the Steamiverse is tough on Ripple because they think they're too centralized, which is interesting, right? Because the interesting dynamic is what we talked about earlier. Steem is centralized.
Yes.
Steem is so centralized, and it's fine, right? Because I like what they're providing for us and the ability to create content and continue that development. But my God, look at these whale wars.
I know.
Right? I mean, these guys have pissing contests back and forth about stupid stuff rather than how do we grow the network? How do we market the network? How do we all benefit?
Yes.
So,
and of course, there's those people that want to have it all to themselves and make the money off everyone else, which goes right back to a centralized style environment.
Right.
But the one thing I would say is that Ripple Maybe you don't like it because it's decentralized, but it's coming.
Because it's
And
centralized, not decentralized.
yeah, maybe it's centralized. I'm sorry.
You say it's You said it's coming. You're still going to antagonize people.
Yeah, I'll antagonize them because I've looked at this thing from all sides, and they are going to be a success, and they are going to price. I see this price rising. So everybody can say what they want about centralization, decentralization. The fact of the matter is, I'm in this for the money. I don't care if they're centralized or decentralized.
Now, see, there's some honest blockchain talk that you don't hear anywhere else other than Morning Coins with John and Chaz.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there, you know.
I'm never going to tell you that I'm all about the money because I don't have any. But eventually, I would like to say that. So,
yes. Well, it's like this. Here's some opportunities to increase your net worth, and I would think that you'd want to take that opportunity rather than arguing about the philosophy of the blockchain and its decentralization.
well, there you go. So, on that note, let's look at that slide about taking a profit.
You know, I think that one of the biggest mistakes people make in investing is they see what they consider to be a good investment, and they don't devise an exit strategy. It's like having half a plan. I'll buy it. Okay, well, when you getting out? Well, I don't know, after it goes up. I mean, it's like, that's not a plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You have to have some kind of exit strategy that when you get into something, at the time you buy it. And so some ideas was when it does go up, or if it does go up, take your original investment out and leave the profits in to grow.
Right.
That way you've protected yourself on the downside.
Right. And like you said down here on the slide, set a target profit and get out. Forget the moon.
Yeah. I mean, God, there's so many people out there saying, oh, they're going to go to, Bitcoin's going to 50,000, XRP is going to 125. And it's like, really? You guys have no basis in fact to be saying that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Right. No one has any idea how this market's going to turn out because it's too new.
It is. And I know I see a lot of mathematical projections, I'm going to call them projections, that people put out there. And, you know, they're interesting, but I don't think they apply to this market, to this crypto market, because it's so new.
Right.
We don't know how it's going to operate. So, and some people, on the other hand, are doing the other thing. It's going down, and they don't really know that as well.
Yeah, right. Right. So that's why we come in here, guys, and have conversations. So hopefully you guys will come in with us as we keep going. But we're not going to stop. And these recordings and VODs will be available on the GNBC website, on both of our Steem pages, and on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah, I would like to leave them with one thought on the investment side.
Please.
And I experienced this during my years as a stockbroker, was that there was a company, and I can't remember the name of it right now. It was just doing great guns. And the owners of the company and their agents were taking the analysts around to different buildings and showing them their buildings that they have and all their operations, and come to find out they didn't own any of those buildings, and it wasn't any of their operations. It was all a big snow job. And a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Yep.
So
what's the takeaway?
Well, the takeaway is this. Even if you have all the stuff you read and get off the internet and from other people, it only takes one event to drive that right to the ground. That's why I'm constantly reading about my investments, trying to find out if there's anything new out there. I look at the news of the day. Anything up there that I need to know? It's like Sears. Look what happened to Sears.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw it. I think you posted that link, and that their CEO like fleeced the company.
Yeah.
Fleeced them so bad that they had to declare bankruptcy.
There's an example. Sears was in the early years the Amazon of the merchandising world.
Oh my God, Sears Roebuck is famous.
Catalog.
First catalog, yeah.
You know, they had catalog sales. They sold houses in their catalogs.
Mm-hmm.
And through mismanagement and ignoring the environment around them, they just got destroyed. And the same with Kmart. They're just poorly managed. And how does that happen? You know?
With shareholders that just look at the bottom line and don't care about managing an organization and actually communicating from the bottom up to have a strategy that works.
Yeah, the thing is, do you want to survive? And I think the CEO is getting together with the employees of Sears saying, well, if we don't have a big Christmas, it could be over. Well, guess what? It's going to be over.
It's over.
It's already over.
By the way, if businesses want a sound marketing strategy and a sound strategy for your organization, you can contact Jeremy Grandstaff at sgendeavors.com.
And I endorse Jeremy Grandstaff.
I do too.
It's not a paid advertisement either.
Well, it's a paid Zoom room.
Okay. Access is paid for.
Promotional sponsor. Sponsor.
The content is not paid for.
Absolutely not. All right, guys. This is Morning Coins Free for All Friday. We'll be back next Friday with our guest Damon Ramsey from Cleveland Blocks. Miscommunication on the date, so I apologize. So check it out on the VOD. Leave us your comments below, no matter where you see this post. And these slides are available. Get into Coinbase, click those links, and we will see you next Friday.
See you next Friday.
All right, Chaz.